Today I'll be hanging the last batch of all of our outdoor lights. And I really think the result will be amazing and make this property look like $1,000,000. I'll show you the result and all of these outdoor lamps with lights in them later in this video.
Last year, my boyfriend and I took over Runestone Valley, a farmhouse built in 1820. The farm is located in the countryside on Denmark's fourth largest island, the island of Lolland, also known as the Pancake Island due to its flat terrain. We are Simon, and this is Phoebe, and this is our mission to save Runestone Valley and make it our home.
As you may know from previous videos, I have been busy hanging lights all over this property because we really only have one light on this entire property outside, and that means it's very dark now that we are in the winter months and it gets dark around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've been busy hanging some of these lights, and I've hung 6 so far, so I'm exactly halfway. Because I've identified 12 places I want to hang these lamps so we can get some more light outside. And today I hope I'll be able to hang the last 6. Let's see how it goes. And the places I still need to hang the last 6 lights are one here, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down here in the passage 6 by this door down here. So let me get busy over here hanging the first of the remaining lamps. So 10 lights have now been hung. The 2 here on the main house, this one by the main entrance door, which we never use, and this one by the utility room door has now also been hung. And also here and one there has been hung up. So that's 10 lights so far, and actually I've identified a couple of more places where I want to hang these lights. So all in all, I think I'll end up with hanging 14 lights, so still 4 to go. I only have 3 more. I had initially bought 10, then I bought 1 extra, so I had 11, and now I've actually bought 2 more, so I have 13 total. But 13 seems like a bad number to end on. I don't want to be superstitious, but why not go with 14 just to be safe? But let me show you those last 4 placements for the last 4 lights that I have in mind. Because when I hung this light out here in front of the carriageway, there was a couple of you who said that you think I should hang one over here by the trash cans as well, even though I said that I didn't think I would because that would put a spotlight on the trash cans. But after having thought about it, as you said I should, I think I will hang one here as well, because it is actually pretty dark here when we go out with the trash at night. And also for the workers who come and collect these bins, it would be nice with the light. So I think you guys are right about that. So that's one of the last 4 places. The second of the 4 places missing is one here, and that's the next one I'll do. And then the one down here by the farmhands quarters. And the fourth one I want to hang, which I need to buy, will be down in this small passageway. I think I mentioned that I might put a spotlight here to light up the facade, and I might still do that this summer. But I also actually think it would look nice with a wall light here. So between these 2 windows, just about there, I think. So I think I will be hanging one here. But yeah, I'll continue with the 3 lights I have left before I get one extra. So now I'll continue over here, and there's a thick wall between here. So I'll need the long drill bit for that as well. It's really hard to find the exact placement of lamp number 2 because they're certainly not the same height as over here. It's very hard to know, should I measure from the roof line or should I measure from the ground or what's going to look most correct. Because I've already made one mistake in here in the courtyard. If you see that lamp over there, does not align with this lamp over here. And that's again because things are certainly not straight in these old buildings. Because in order to mount this lamp over here, I measured from this wooden beam at the bottom here and measured up. And I took the exact same measurement over here. But that does not look very right, even though there is the exact same distance. Then visually, this one is very much lower and actually needs to go up. So I think I need to go by the roof line maybe. And I think it's the same situation I now have out here in the front of the property. That in order for it to look from the road, look straight and aligned with the other one, I need to measure from the roof line because, yeah. Or maybe something in between. I'm really not sure. And I can't really tell, I can't really see it properly before I've actually mounted it and screwed the holes because Simon is not here right now, so I can't get him to hold it up. Yeah. Ooh, I got an idea. I just remembered that I have this very nice laser measure actually, so I wanted to bring it out here so I can see what's what. All right, let's turn it on. Okay, cool. I've set it so that the beam is just in the middle of this lamp. Can you tell? Just in the middle where the screw is actually. You can also see it here on the lamp. But yeah, when you look at it here from the road, it's certainly not straight. I think I'll move it a little closer. Okay, it's a lot closer now and it's still very visible for me over here. I can easily see the line here. Even here on the black port you can easily see it. And here's the cross section. Yeah, I just got the idea that maybe I'm able to better see when it's straight, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be using this result, because if I hang it so that it matches the exact level, I don't think it's going to look right. It's going to look like it's further down here. So I actually think I will measure down from the roof line, because I think that's what the eye will look at and consider to be the level of this house. So it needs to be a little higher here in order for it to look the same height, I think. And I think the same will be true here in the courtyard. So so I'm going to move that as well and follow the roof line instead. But really interesting to test this out, actually. Okay, so let me see how far it is from the gate. To the center of the lamp, 130 centimeters, 37. So 130 and 37. And 37 is actually there. But if I look over, that's a lot higher. See, in straight line eyesight, when I stand here on the ground, and that will of course be the ground level, it should be down here. 37 is all the way up here, actually. So I think I will put it down a little, maybe 1/3 longer down than the measurement says, because I'm not really sure if that's going to look way too high up. I wonder if there's a best practice for this kind of thing when you're putting things up on stuff that are not level, but you want it to look level. See, the camera here is actually self-leveling, so if you follow the roof line on the screen, you'll be able to see how much it slopes. Let me try to hold the lamp where I'm planning to mount it, and let's see if that looks level. See, this would be 37 down, just like this. So this should be the same distance from the roof line. This here would be if it was level to the ground, and this here is where I'm planning to hang it and hoping that will look level. So that should be there. Yeah, hoping that'll look right when I'm done. Now that this is hung, let me have a look from the road to see if it looks level. Yeah, almost. Yeah, good enough. You are able to tell that it's a couple of centimeters further down from the roof. Maybe it should have been a couple of centimeters higher up. I'm not really sure, but this is how it is now, for sure. Okay, now I only need to hang the very last light. I thought I would hang it down here at the end of the stables, just here by the wisteria. I've earlier talked about that maybe putting a spotlight here instead, and I think I'm going back to that plan. So the 14th lamp I won't be hanging here, but I found a much better place actually when I was walking with Phoebe in the garden yesterday night. Because here by the farmhands quarters I hung this one. And we have this small stone walkway here, it ends here. But then I discovered last summer that we also have a stone walkway here. And I've cleared it down to here. And then we have this bush coming here. But this stone walkway goes underneath it, I'm pretty sure. So our plan is to remove this and let this stone walkway go down that way. So I actually think, besides having this one light here, that it would be nice to place the last light here on the corner of the house, so that we also have a little light on this stone walkway. So that'll be the 14th light and the last one. So let me get to hanging that one. Okay, so let me have a look where I think it should be. I want it to be the same height as the other one. Maybe something like this. Let me make a small mark, but I better measure up to see if it matches the other one. Maybe I should try the laser measure here as well. I think the ground is more straight here. But first I'll measure the regular way. 186 centimeters to the center of the lamp. That almost matches. This is 184, so there's 2 centimeters difference. But I want the wire to be at an intersection here of the bricks. So even though this is the center here, I think this is a better placement, because then I think this wire will go on the outside of the house instead of going into the hallway, as the only place where the wire is outside. So let me try the laser measure here. It wasn't tall enough, so I have a chair and some bricks. And that makes it just about tall enough. I don't want to get any more bricks, but if you see over here, it's just a couple of centimeters below the center, this bar here. So let's see how that matches up with my mark over here. It's very nice and clear, this line. It's very easy to see. Okay, let me see, where was my mark? So it is very level over here, because this is the intersection I want to make the hole for the wire, or where the wire should go out, and then actually the center will be just, so it's just going to be, yeah, maybe 1 centimeter lower than this one over here. So that's very perfect. I feel very confident about that. But really cool to actually have this option here to test out exact placements. And nice that it is so easy to see where the line is. Even all the way down here I can see it. So that was the last of the 14 lights, and in just a couple of minutes I'll show you what they all look like once they've been hooked up. But before that, I think I'll go into the office, the future office, because Simon is hard at work in there. Last time you probably saw that Simon has started up renovating the office. What used to be the old dining room, and the walls in there are in just as bad of a shape as they were out here in the living room. So it's a big task getting those ready to be painted. Last time he started giving the walls lime mortar to fill out all the larger holes. And he's done with that now. And now he's applying plaster to the walls, or skim coating them, I think it's called. And the walls are very uneven, so that's also quite a bit of a task. And we know from the walls in the living room that it needs at least 2 coats of this plaster. So he's hard at work here, and this corner in particular is very uneven.
Yeah. It is. It is. It's like, I mean, this is not a difficult or hard task, you know, like tearing down the ceiling or something like that. But it's like adding frosting to a cake. So you want it to look as nice as possible. And as you can see, that's quite difficult because the wall is so uneven, and the lime mortar even has like all these little stones in it.
Oh yeah.
To cover that up is, well,
the lime mortar seems to have been a lot more coarse than the regular mortar was.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is already the 3rd bucket of filler that you are applying in here.
Yes.
So in just a little while, I think he has given all the walls the first coat, and then it needs to be sanded and get ready for the second and final coat, hopefully.
Yes, and then I can paint the walls and paint the ceilings. And then this room it's not done, but it's ready to be used as an office, which is nice.
Yeah, it would be really nice to actually be able to set up a desk over here.
Yeah.
We're thinking a desk from wall to wall, maybe attached to the walls actually, and then 2 chairs, so that we can both sit here and work when we're working from home.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a station with computer and all that.
Yeah, so a lot to do in here, but luckily it's not that large of a room, and all the steps we have done before in the living room, so that's a bit of a comfort.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll check back in with this when you're further along in this process.
Yes. gør det ikke det? Det synes jeg, der ser rigtig fint ud.
With only a few days till Christmas, I think it's about high time we get a Christmas tree put into the living room here. We've been so busy all through December that we've almost forgotten that it's Christmas. But I think it's about time to get that changed. Last year in December, we had just gotten the keys to this house, and we actually didn't have running water or heat when we took over this house. The realtor had the water shut off because they were afraid that there might be a leak somewhere. So last Christmas, we weren't really ready to use this place. It was also full of stuff, so besides not having running water or heat, there was no place to actually be. So this is our very first real Christmas here. It's so nice to have gotten a Christmas tree in the living room, but I want to bring the Christmas outside a little as well. I'll show you later when it's darker, but I've been putting some Christmas lights in this chestnut tree and also in this very large wisteria we have over here. And I know that Christmas is over in just a couple of days, but I'm planning to leave these lights outside for the entire winter. So we will get a cozy vibe here in the courtyard. But I thought I also wanted to decorate a little outside by the road. Because out here we have this, I don't know if it's a large bush or a small tree, but we have this probably old tree, and actually we have found some old pictures of this farm where there was one just like it on this other side. So we have a plan to plant one here as well, maybe this summer or next fall. But I'm not sure if this tree here, if it's a bit sick or if it's just supposed to look like that. But there are this algae or moss or what it is all over it. Maybe that's just how they look. Not really sure. But to bring a little cozy winter vibe out here as well, I thought I'd put some lights in this tree. And I had actually planned to want to cut this down just a little in a month or two. But if I'm gonna put some lights in it, I might as well cut it a little better into shape now, so that it's easier to put some lights in. So I think I'll go and get my telescope saw and see what I can do about this. That was a tough job, but I managed to actually take quite a bit from this tree. It's gotten a lot smaller actually, and now it's in a size where I actually think that we'll be able to maintain this ourselves instead of having it grow so big that we have to get someone to do it at some point. So very nice. I hope I'll be able to put some lights in it today, but yeah, it is getting dark already now, even though it's only 3:30 in the afternoon. But that's how it is this time of year, unfortunately. It doesn't look like much, but there was two light chains with 480 lights in each, so 960 lights in this tree by the road. If somebody asked me, I would say there was 200 lights. It could easily have taken 2 more light chains. And I think I might just have enough time to put up an extra string light in the garden. Because here on the garden side of the terrace where we have our living room in here, we have this very small stone terrace, and all of this is going to be taken down in the spring when we build a new terrace. But for now, for this winter, I think I'll put some Christmas lights here or some string lights to make it look a little more cozy. So let me get working on that as well. So, a little light here at the balcony as well. And I actually have one single light string left, and I think I want to place this down here just as a fun test. I don't know if it's pretty, but it's fun. It's beginning to look a little like Christmas. As you may have noticed while I was hanging the string lights outside, we have now gotten light hooked up to these outdoor lights that I've been busy hanging through the last couple of weeks. It looks really good, I think, and it does a lot of making the whole vibe of this place a whole lot nicer. I have always really liked doing outdoor lights and lighting in general. I really think lighting makes a huge difference in making a place look nice and, well, like $1,000,000. And when you see our property here from the sky, compare it here to without lights and now with lights. It makes so much of a difference. So I'm really happy about this lighting project. It turned out really well, I think. Both of course the string lights now for this dark season, but especially these 14 outdoor lamps. It has really helped, not only as a practical thing in order to be able to see at night when we're walking in the courtyard, but it also really does something good for this property in making it look livable and so much nicer. And maybe you've noticed too that I actually have some light on this tree out here in the garden. This is just a small test of a larger garden lighting project I plan to do this spring. Again, I think lighting really makes a huge visual impact and can really change the whole look and feel of a whole property. So when the spring comes, I'll be installing some spotlights on some specific places like this very nice red oak, where I've just as a test placed 2 spotlights to see what it looks like. And I think it really looks nice and adds a lot of visual interest. So yeah, in a couple of months or 3, I'll be doing a garden lighting project with some spotlights and other kinds of things out here. So be sure to be subscribed if you want to see that project. So nice that we actually got a Christmas tree up before Christmas and also some light decorations outside to make it a little cozy in the coming days. I don't think we'll manage to do any more jobs before Christmas, but within long we'll be back with a new video and new tasks here from the farm. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!